welcome to today's live stream. We have Drew from No Dead But Love, and we also have Jose from where he's at, Rico Suave Investing. So we're gonna talk about Drew, his debt, his debt journey. He's paying off $80,000 plus a student loan. We're gonna talk about his YouTube channel, how
Woo!
he's managing, his raising kids and his family and all of that. So, but now let's
Yes,
get right to
sir.
Drew. Like, introduce yourself to us, Drew. How's it going? We got Ryan in the house though. What's up, Ryan? How's it going, man? Welcome to the
What
live
up?
stream, bro. How's it
How's it
going? But
going,
hey,
Ryan? Yeah. So I'm Drew. I have a YouTube channel, No Debt But Love, and it just chronologizes my journey of paying back my student loan debt. I graduated with my master's from Abilene Christian University in December 2010, and overall, my original goal was to get my PhD. And as I was going through the process of applying to schools and things like that, I realized I had a huge mountain that I didn't realize that was just accumulating interest. And so it turned out to be $85,308.07.
ooh,
And right now, I'm about to hit the 15,000s. So I'm grateful for that. And it was a shocker. I would say that.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
it was
definitely.
exciting.
Wow.
So I know you have a YouTube channel and you talk about that a lot. So how did all of like this trying to go on public and talk about your debt journey? You also have a blog. And what
Yeah.
inspired you to start? What inspired you to go on public and try to
Hmm.
inspire other people? To start doing that.
Man, I would say honestly, it was me just wanting to get just the frustration out because a lot of days I was sad about it, and so I decided I journal. And initially, I wanted to keep it anonymous. So I have a blog called NoDebtButLove.com, and I did that for 4 years. I wrote for 4 years, just writing, 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 writing. And I had one of my classmates, they came across my blog and it's like, yo, Drew, you should start a YouTube channel. And so that's how that happened. And shout out to you, Jonathan. I appreciate you. Man, I did not want to start a YouTube channel, but you kept bugging me and bugging me and bugging me, man.
Yes, that's
So
that.
thank you for being a huge supporter, Jonathan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. So we have Tasha in the house. Thank you, Tasha, for joining. We also have Brian, Brandon. We got Ryan watching. We got 9 people watching. Thanks a lot. Make sure to give
Yeah.
the live stream a thumbs up so other people can join and participate in the live stream. And also, if you're able to share it, that would be awesome to share it. So Ryan says, I borrowed 17K by the time I started paying the back. It was around 14K. Yeah, that's the interest is like really
Yeah.
accumulated. So can you share us about like how you were managed to manage, the interest rate, how you
Hmm.
plan to tackle your student loan debt when you found out about it? Can you tell us like how you reacted when you found out that you got 80K in student loan debt? Like I'll be shocked, like how,
Man, you ready for this story?
yeah, bring it on, baby, bring it on.
I don't think y'all ready for this, man. Cause all right. So it all started. So I met my wife in college, and the story about us. She's an immigrant. She's from Trinidad, and she just recently got her U.S. citizenship. So yeah, good job, babe. Good
That's
job.
awesome, awesome, congrats.
So so while in college, um, man, it was so we dated, and as soon as we graduated, she found a job in Dallas, and I found the job. Right, it was a corporate job, and I didn't keep it for very long, and I was a recent newlywed, so I had that job for 3 months, and I'm thinking like, man, I'm traveling. I was doing healthcare consulting, and I was enjoying just being able to go and see different places and meeting new people. But however, since it was 2010, 2011, the U.S. was still feeling the aftershocks of the recession. So it was real for me and my family. My parents, they had lost houses, lost jobs, and things like that. They wanted to um, just be able to continue to pay off their mortgage, lease out the homes that they were in, but things just happened for them so rapidly. They couldn't recover fast enough. And so I come into play where I'm expecting my parents to be able to help me pay off this debt. And I'm married, and I'm like, whoa, wow.
Yeah.
Then I ended up getting laid off. Drew, your services are no longer needed. So I'm a newlywed. My parents are going through it. They had and they had health problems, so that just compounded stuff. Um, and then I realized I have $85,308.07 in student loans. But the great thing about it was the silver lining. I have no private debt, so that really saved me. I all my debt is backed by the U.S. Department of Education, Stafford and Perkins loans. With Stafford and Perkins loans, the interest rates tend to be lower than you would find with private debt, so they helped me out a lot. Now, man, after that, I come home from work having to tell my wife that, hey, I got laid off from my job. And guess what? I come into the apartment with mail from my student loan servicers saying that, hey, you're getting ready to have to pay this stuff, make payments. And I just lost my job, man.
Damn.
I walk through the front door and I'm just deflated. I'm like, man, I'm supposed to tell my wife I lost my job. And guess what? All these student loans. So I'm in the middle of the living room floor. I just crumble. So I break down and she looks at me and says, your debt is my debt. And I'm like, what? What? You know, because, you know, in today's climate, you know, you have men that say, you know what, stay away from the girls. You know, they may have a lot of student loans. But I came into the marriage with the debt. She had no student loan debt, no credit card debt. I'm glad I didn't have any of that. But she really helped me just gather my thoughts and say, you know what, you can do it. I got your back, and just face it head on. So yeah, for 2 years, I found it very difficult to find gainful employment. I literally scrubbed toilets. I took out trash. I had some coworkers make fun of me, like, oh, he has a master's degree. They'll find me on social media, but I would say overall, they really strengthened me. It made me a better person. It humbled me because initially I went to college to prove that I was smart, that I was worthy of someone listening to me or thinking I was cool or whatever. I just wanted to show that hey, I'm just as good as anyone else. But that wasn't the point of going to college. The point of going to college, which I like to talk to my students about, is being able to pass along your knowledge. And so I just initially went to college just wanting to absorb as much knowledge as I could just to show off. And then the very thing that I wanted in education, it ended up biting me with the debt. So that's where the no debt but love comes from. Just loving people.
Awesome. Yeah, that was interesting. That was awesome. I really love the fact that you know that your wife is like supporting you, especially when you're going through, you know, this situation of paying off your debt, that she's with you, she's supporting you. That's really amazing and loving, you know, truly loving wife that you have, you know, that's really awesome. But let's welcome all the people. You know, we got Mario in the house. We got
Mario, Super Mario.
Kevin is in the house saying, what's up? What's up, everybody? You got Shane saying thanks a lot. Ryan is saying, my dad signed me up for a private loan at 7%. Yeah, the private loan was, I know we had an interview with Tasha. She was talking about the private loans were kind of rough. And but luckily, you know, Drew only had, you know, federal loans. And can you tell us about, you know, how you managed to tackle, you know, the principal and the interest and all of that, like while you found out about it? You know, can you tell us about that?
Okay. Well, me being able to tackle the principal and the interest, it all came by chance, man. It honestly, it all just worked out because the federal government had recently started the income-based repayment plan. And since I wasn't making any kind of income, just zero, I submitted my income to say, well, do you have any check stubs? No, I don't. So they continue to ask me for more and more information. After I got enrolled in the income-based repayment program, to my surprise, my monthly payment was zero. At the
Nice.
same time, you know, interest accrues every day, right? Just because
Yeah.
your monthly payment is zero, you still got to be concerned about that interest because it would accrue and eat you up. However, with the income-based repayment, the first 3 years of me being in that program, the federal government paid my interest.
Yeah, that's really,
So
really awesome.
yeah, so whatever jobs I picked up, I just threw as much as I can at my debt, and it went straight to principal for the first 3 years. I wouldn't necessarily if you're in a low paying job or you're finding it difficult to find work, get into the income-based repayment. It's worth your while. But in order to be in that program for 3 years like that, that means you're not making anything. It's bare bones.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And they want so much information. You have to renew every year. So
Cool, cool.
it was
So
a
I know yeah, it was a blessing to actually be able to tackle, the principal instead of like the interest. Because I
yeah.
know with Tasha interview, she said the majority of the time, when you're paying it off, you're paying out the interest instead of tackling like the principal that she just mentioned on her interview. But I know you said like you worked a lot of different jobs. So what was like the jobs that you worked that you really didn't like? Can you tell us also the reason why you didn't like it? Because I know you said you worked a lot, like 3 jobs. And can you share us? Can you share us that?
Oh man. I would say one of the worst jobs that I had, I happened to have to wash cars, and I had to pick up cars for clients and make sure that everything was up to par for them. Wasn't any dog hairs. Oh man, people do some of the craziest things in rental cars. Just let me say that.
Mario's in
And
the car washing business.
Yeah, you got some detailing business going on down in
Mario.
LA. Mario, shout out to Mario, man, the Abbey
yeah,
investor.
yeah, he's making the big bucks by being the owner.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I was the employee. But good, hey man, good job, Mario. That's good, man. You're young and you're doing it. That's what's up. But the clientele, there were some really cool people I met. I met Ricky Smiley. I met some golfers on a PGA golf tournament. So some of them were cool. Some of them were just really rude. Talk to you crazy, yelling, screaming. But that's the case of customer service. So overall, I think that just built up my character just to persevere. Because a lot of times you may go through something that you may not like, and the first thing you want to do is leave. You want to run away and say, you know what, I don't have time for this. But with that $85,000 on my mind that I had to pay back, I was like, you know what, I can't quit because I'm either going to quit this job or go home and just look silly, So I just said, let me go to work and keep looking for things.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I know you worked a lot you get 3 jobs, dabbling 3 jobs, and have you done any kind of like investments like in the stock market to kind of like to help you pay off your student loan? Have you ever done any kind of related to the stock market?
All right, so it's another story to that. So with my current job, I have a coworker. He serves as a mentor for me, and he told me, hey Drew, through the company, we have these retirement plans. We have this pension. Why don't you go ahead and open up a 403B as well? So this happened, I would say 2013. And at the same time as I opened up the 403B, also played around with Robinhood. And so I just do whatever I could at it. And I had a Robinhood account. I had a Scottrade account before TD Ameritrade bought it out. And I have my Fidelity. and some other things sprinkled here and there. But I was able to, with my returns and my dividends, I went ahead and threw $6,000. That was the largest amount that I threw at my debt that really helped me. I really wish that I still had that money, because we have seen what the stock market has done with this bull run.
Yeah.
But hey, we can't cry over spilled milk, right?
For sure. So we have a question from Ryan. Ryan is asking you, are you scared of debt now, right now?
Oh yeah. I hate debt if it's not in an asset. The only way I'm gonna get some more debt is buying investment properties, buying houses. That's the only way, because that can accrue in value. However, if I find myself in trouble, I can sell that off. I can sell off a house. I can't sell off my diplomas, my college degrees.
Yeah.
I wish they could take it back, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. So while you made, when you were dabbling in the stock market while you investment, what was like the main stocks that you started to invest in? Like the main ones that made you profit to actually make you some gains. What are the top stocks that you had?
One of my favorites, and this is a shout out to a family member. He knows who he is. Nucor Volcraft. So with they fabricate the steel ball and joints. So whenever you go into the big stores like Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, you look up in the ceiling, that's those guys, Nucor.
Cool.
So they make those ball and joints for the ceilings. And so they've been really stable throughout the years, and the dividends great. So I like Nucor. I like Apple. I love basketball.
So that's what's up.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, man, I try to play as much as I can, but having two kids, sometimes my time isn't set up that way, but it's all good. But I like NBA 2K, and the makers of NBA 2K is Take-Two Interactive. And I happened to get in with those guys, their stock when it was $52. And now it's like 120 something. So I've been able to see them steady grow and keep some of that. And that was some of the stock that really helped me, that when I sold it and paid $6,000 towards my student loan debt. So very helpful.
That's like, oh man, you made Warren Buffett. If Warren Buffett was listening to the last stream, he'd be proud of you, man. That was a solid entry, like a 50 to, man, that's, shout out to everybody that's listening, man. I thought Kevin had like a very solid entry on Facebook, but Drew is the man right now. That is an amazing return, man. From solid. Yeah, awesome. How about, like, do you hold any kind of dividend paying stocks in your portfolio right now, or what's like your strategy?
Yeah, so I still try to hold on to some things. Right now, I'm a little speculative when it comes to Chesapeake Energy. They've been dipping, but I'm really trying to hold off and see what they're going to do. Because back in the day, since I like basketball, right? So you got the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have the Chesapeake Arena, and before the CEO kind of like got in trouble and all that, and he unfortunately passed away, and Chesapeake was the stock. And right now they're soon going to become a penny stock. And so I'll play around with some leftover dividends I get from companies like AT&T. I enjoy that one. I really like Wendy's hamburgers. So I invest in things that I know about and I use on a consistent basis.
That's just like me, man.
Yeah.
Just like Jose. So Mario's saying, so we got Kevin saying, so you invested while paying off debt? That's a question for you.
Yes.
Drew.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and I hear a lot of people telling people, pay your debt first, pay your debt first. Let me tell you something, my brother. poor people like me, if I wait to pay all my debt, I'll never invest. I will die in the ground. They will bury me, and I will still have debt, and I will never start investing. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
baloney. Whoever's telling you to pay your debt first and start investing later,
Yeah.
don't do that. Unless the debt is like, like a credit card debt that you're paying like 24% or 30% or something like that for $2,000. That's going to take you 30 years to pay back. I
Mhm.
got it. Pay those $2,000 back. But don't wait to pay all your cars and all your houses and all that stuff before you start investing, because you'll never, ever start investing.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, and
All right.
I find myself fortunate that my employer, forced me to start investing. So that was like, I've been with my present employer for 6 years now, and I can't even imagine if I still didn't have anything. I'm gonna be 34 soon, and to have no investments and just have debt. Like,
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
a reality for a
So
lot of people. So my heart goes out to them.
Mario's saying I'm gonna retire at 30. I'm the fire baby. Yeah, fire bath. I just read that out of that. But what do you think about this? The fire movement. People want to retire early. Are you into that category that you have goals to set up to retire early? Do you have plans? What is like your perspective about that whole movement?
Man, I love the fire movement. If somebody's got to win, right?
Yeah.
Somebody got to be able to retire early. I'm just all about people having opportunity. For me, however, I don't think that I would want to retire early because I think I would get bored. There's only so many places you could travel.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think I'll get tired of spending all that money. That'll be nice, but I think now I'm becoming more of a saver. I like seeing my accounts grow. I like seeing my savings accounts grow. That's me personally. And I like being able to work and just make something. So even if I'm able to retire, my whole philosophy is being able to leave my kids with something. I see my little girl, she's very helpful. If I'm doing anything, if I'm washing dishes, hey, daddy, let me help you. And so with her being so helpful, I'm like, hey, why not work to get out of this student loan debt so I can then I know borrow to get some assets that I can later sell, hopefully at a profit. But I plan on doing it within reason, being reasonable about it, and not being too greedy.
Cool.
Mhm.
So people are saying, talking about like Dave Ramsey on the comment section about his methods and things like that. So what do you
Yeah,
think about him? Do you follow his his methodology about to paying out to tackle your debt? What
I see
methodology
Ryan's
did you use?
comment. Oh man, Ryan, man, you may think you may not like me after this. I like Dave Ramsey. I like I like how fired up he gets about paying off debt. I like that about him. I think with Dave Ramsey's philosophy, he tries to help people with common sense because common sense isn't always practiced. And so if everyone practiced common sense, you wouldn't need the Dave Ramseys of the world. But for
Yeah.
people like Ryan that know that Ryan is savvy. I wish I was as savvy as Ryan at his age. And so that's why I needed a Dave Ramsey. I needed somebody to say, wake up, man. If you see that you can't afford XYZ university, don't go to that school. Yeah. So
They've I remember back in 2007, I was
mm,
for my second time in Iraq, and they had the 12-week Dave Ramsey financial education
ah,
program thing or whatever
Yeah.
going on. And I went to it, and there's nothing else to do in the desert,
hmm,
and it actually helped me out a lot, as far as like I had like 4 or 5 different credit cards, like from Best Buy and like Sam's credit cards and all that.
wow.
And the whole snowball thing that he uses, where you pay
Yeah.
the little ones first, so you get to the big one, and the big one, and that really, I got rid of them like in 6 months. It was like that, so it really helped me out a lot.
Man, thank you for your service. by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And you gotta
Awesome.
have nerves of steel to be over there and then still have the focus to make sure that your home front is good when you return.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Appreciate
you're able to juggle.
So Mario was saying that he was gonna golf, when he retired and everything. I'm gonna golf until I die. I'm a golf. Okay, so but you said, you're not into, retiring, things like that. You've done a lot of travel. Have you done a lot of traveling, or are
Oh
you
yeah,
not?
man.
Well,
The
what place
real
have you visited? Like,
okay. Um, I've gone. So I'm in the U.S. So I've gone to Canada. I've gone to Mexico. I've visited the touristy type places, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, um, Belize, those places. The furthest um, I've been over to England and Ireland, and so that was really cool to see that. And then also able to go to the motherland, well, close to the motherland, Madagascar. So
yeah.
that was cool. Just being able to see that, man, my problems aren't really that big. I just have first world problems, and it's really a blessing to even have the opportunity to borrow for your education, because you have so many countries around the world where they're not going to have that opportunity. So a lot of times I don't like having a debt, but I'm glad it's almost it's almost done. I have the opportunities and the freedom. If I want to get my PhD, I can. It's up to me. I could choose what type of jobs I want, but you have other places around the world, but they can't afford that. They don't have that luxury. And so
Yeah, for sure.
it's kind of like I'm juxtaposed. I have two sides to me. I'm happy that I have the education, but at the same time, I think I overdid it. It was me. So I don't blame anybody but me.
Interesting. Cool, man.
Yeah.
So we have investment, future finance. So welcome to the last round. I appreciate it. And we have a question from Ryan. It's saying snowball or the debt avalanche. So I was asking you, I think, which method did you use, I think, to paying off your debt?
Snowball, because I'm gonna have to do a video where I show my NSLDS profile, my National Student Loan Database Servicer. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead, y'all, set up an account for that. It'll really help you to be able to track who are the owners of your loans, and also set up an account with studentloans.gov. With studentloans.gov, it will actually help you get enrolled in that program I spoke of, the income-based repayment program, where the 3 years that you're in that program, if you're facing hardship, the government will pay the first 3 years of your interest. So NSLDS to track your stuff, and studentloans.gov to sign up for those income-driven repayment plans. Now, in terms of I used the debt snowball, and how I did that, since all of my loans are government backed, I have Stafford and Perkins. So the Stafford is pretty much low. It's a low interest rate, and the Perkins, it's given to you by your school, and so that's capped at 5%. My lowest interest rate for my other student loans, it was like a 3.25, 3.8. My highest is a 6.8. So guess what? It just so happened that the 3.25% student loans were the smallest. So I have like over 20 accounts. But right now, 2 servicers, NowNet and Fed Loan. And so I tackled the smaller balances first, because a lot of them happen to be like $500 here, $1,000 there. So I knocked those out. But my 6.8% student loans, those were the highest, like 8,000, 10,000. It's crazy, man. Mm-hmm.
Cool,
It gets you hard with the bigger balances and the highest interest rates.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. So thank you, Tasha, for dropping off, Drew's channel. If you don't have his YouTube channel, you can go and check out, click on the link.
Thanks,
you can go
Tasha.
and check him out. So investment future saying still jealous of Rico's game room. He has like the best setup, I think. Yeah, for people. And also Mario saying, what state are you in? No debt. He's asking what state are you? Yeah,
Great
he's a
Lone
fellow
Star
Texan.
State.
Yeah, yeah, he's a fellow Texan. But Mario, come on, man. I know you know how to spell, man. I know you dropped out of school, man, but college. But come on, man.
His spell check not set up
The-
like that, you know. Leave my man alone.
no, man. I'm just playing with you, man. But but yeah, so let's go back to Shane is also from Texas, man. So we got a lot of Texas up in the house,
Yeah,
baby. That's what I'm talking
yeah.
about. But I wanted to ask you one specific question. So let's talk about when you actually wanted to start a family. I know you have 2 kids right now, right?
Yes, sir.
So how did you decide? You have a lot of debt,
Woo.
with student loans. Like, how did you talk to your wife to start a family?
Man, honestly, I always knew at an early age that I knew I wanted to start a family. At 11, 12, 13 years old, I knew that was my dream. I wanted a family so bad. And I wanted at least 3 kids. And had I had my way, I'd have had kids as early as 25. After I graduated at 25, I realized, sorry, that's my kids.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
uh, little gremlins. But I knew that I wanted a family, and with the student loan debt, man, I didn't want to have my daughter to start college, and I still had student loans. And so for me, in my house, we have a little mantra: no K by pre-K. So no student loans by the time my daughter starts pre-K. So I have 2 years before she'll start pre-K, but I'm looking to have my student loans paid off around June or July this coming year. So
Oh, cool. So
yeah.
you can start. So you
Oh,
actually,
but you asked how did I decide to start a
to
family?
start family. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I always knew I wanted to have a family, and then when I got married, and shortly after the 3 months in, I'm like, man, I got all this student loan debt. And for my wife, since she didn't come with no debt whatsoever, that was a big, that was a source of tension in our
Okay.
household because she has no debt. I'm coming up with this albatross of debt, and I'm having to explain to her, oh, I'm sorry, I know you want to have a family. I just can't start right now. So that was some conflict, but at the same time, she understood and she appreciated that that I was just taking responsibility for it. And so she saw that I had a plan. She saw that I had a vision. And so thankfully, she rode with it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool, man. So how everything is not working out with you? Like you're managing your debt, you're also raising
Yeah.
your kids. So that's really. But did that really affect your perspective about how are you
Hmm.
managing your debt? How are you paying off your debt when you had your kids? How did that change your entire, financial situation basically? Because now you have to give priorities to your kids and everything like that. So
Yeah.
your goals might have changed, right?
Oh, yeah. So you hear that kids are expensive, but
Yeah, for sure.
I'm finding out more. It's about how you choose to raise them, which can be expensive or inexpensive. Because with kids, when they get to a certain age, they're gonna eat what you eat, you know. So if you're eating good food, you know, you won't have to necessarily worry about big dental bills. Every little thing adds up with a child. That's what I'm realizing. And our biggest cost will be, I'll say, child care, because we both work and we need we need people that's going to take care of, make sure our kids are safe and they teach them. And so that's been a priority, making sure that our kids are educated so they can have a good chance, a good shot if they want to decide to say, hey, I want to do something in science, technology, engineering, or math. Do something in STEM. And it helps that my wife and I, we both have our master's degrees and I work in education. And so for me, I just didn't want to be that professor or that academic advisor, um, getting older in age, and I had not made an attempt to pay off my debt. there are many reasons why people can't even fathom or imagine to pay off their debts. And I understand that, you know. And some of the sacrifices that I made early on, that when we were married, when I couldn't find work for the first 2 years, you know, I was working on and off. It was crazy, where I would stay home and I just like, you know what? Turn on, I know I want to have kids. Let me try to save every penny I can. Turn off these lights, turn off this AC, turn on this fan, put on a wife beater, drink water. Don't eat nothing in the house until your wife gets home. It was crazy, man.
Taking it to the next level.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I tortured myself, but it also motivated me to say, you know what, I need to get out the house. It ate me up to see my wife getting up day in and day out, going to work, man. She had no debt. She's working. And I'm getting out the house. I'm trying to drive places, trying to shake hands. Hey, how you doing? Thank God that it's all good now, you know?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
I just feel really fortunate, and I know I'm blessed coming from where I came from. And so I think by me having these experiences, I'm able to readily understand other people's hardships. So especially with single parents, man, ooh, shout out to the single parents. It's the single moms. I don't know how they do it, because, you know, it's me and my wife, you know, and, you know, we split, we work together to knock out things, and then for these moms to be doing it by themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of yeah. So that's awesome, man. So we got Kevin is saying, "Wow, she's so supported. I love it." Yes, man. Drew's wife is really amazing. She's gonna get an award, I think, the best wife in the world, right? So Mario saying, "How many kids do you have right now?" But
I
I
have
think you have
two.
two. You have
Yeah.
two kids, right? So yeah, Shane is saying most people have intention of paying off their debts, unfortunately. So I wanted to ask you, like, I know, like, in marriages, a lot of marriages might end up with divorce because of the financial issue. So how do you handle, the tensions that arise within your marriage when, like, stuff, gets rocky sometimes, how do
Oh
you
yeah,
handle it personally,
man.
if you want to share?
So after things got better, I made sure that I kept up that same mindset to have multiple jobs, to have multiple streams of income. So that's where the investing came. I need my money to work for me even when I'm sleeping at night, because there's no way that I would have been able to just drop money on random things that became emergencies with just a regular hourly wages, or just with my salary, so you constantly need something that will build up for you. And so that's just really been my mindset. Yeah, you got to have extra things. I'm sorry. What was your question?
Yeah, my question was, like, how do you handle, like, the financial or the
There we go.
tension that arises because of, like, within your marriage? You mentioned in your videos too, I saw that, like, divorces happen because of people have financial issues in their marriage, or they don't, like, agree with how they're spending money. But how do you handle that, on your life, basically, if you want to share it?
You know what? For me, I find that when I'm working, I tend to not have I don't have time to be sitting around thinking too much, because I like to be by myself. I'm an introvert. I like to sit and observe and think about things all day. And whenever I just had one job and I got off from work, that was maddening for me. It was stressful, because I was always like, oh man, I have this debt. I need to be working to try to help pay it off, that sort of thing. And so I think with my personality, with my wife seeing that about me, that I was willing to work, I wasn't afraid of it, I think that kind of helped smooth things out. And then at times when she got frustrated, when, hey babe, I want to do XYZ, but we have this debt, it made me work harder, because I didn't feel that it was right that she was stuck with this debt with me. And then I get off work and I'm not trying to get more work,
Yeah, cool. So also, yeah. So how do you handle it? Sometimes it'd be, like, super stressful that you have kids and you
Yeah.
have to pay your debt. Like, how do you handle, like, your personal, your physical, like, your mental health? Do you have, like, hobbies that you
Oh
do
yeah.
that helps you out a lot? Like, can you share with us what you do to help relieve
Oh
the stress of life?
man, hobbies. You gotta have hobbies. Like I was saying earlier, I like playing basketball. I like NBA 2K. Um, I like jogging. I really enjoy jogging. So whenever I'm just stressed to the max, man, I would just run myself until I feel like I'm about to pass out. And then I come home, I hit the showers, I take a quick nap or something, and I'm just cool after that. Because some days, it's just like, oh my goodness, am I gonna ever get out of this debt? So I've been in this journey for 8 years, and next year is gonna conclude 9 years, and that stuff can get mind numbing. Like, come on, man, when this over? I want to get out of this debt.
Yeah, cool, cool. But we,
Yeah,
we got we got Mario.
yeah.
We got Mario say that. Don't tell him to have money. Also make them pay. So he's basically talking about, if he's going out with girls, and that's how
You
he's
call me a
gonna.
gold digger, Mario? Nah,
No, man. No, you didn't call you
that
that,
would
man.
technically make me the gold digger. She didn't come with anything. You know what I'm saying? The roles are reversed.
Oh,
You got to have humor. That's another thing that has helped. Developing a sense of humor, because early on in the marriage, I didn't laugh a lot. I was not a very happy person or someone that you wanted to hang around with.
yeah. But he wasn't mentioning. He wasn't mentioning you. He was just talking about like the other
Yeah.
females that he tried to date and stuff. But hey, but I also wanted to ask you a question about. You said I just politely asked the girl if they could support if you said financial, but I wanted to ask you, what is like the appropriate way of actually tackling or communicating or attacking your debt for somebody that wants to have a large amount of debt, they want to tackle it, like how should they start? Because that's a huge
Mhm.
burden, especially when you find out like how do they start paying out their debt.
Especially how you start. Um, you first know how much you owe. Um, and you initially, I wanted to run away from it. I wanted to ignore it, but you got to know how much you owe and how to contact those people. And so what helped me was the National Student Loan Database Service at nslds.ed.gov. You log in that bad boy, you see a running of all your loans that are federally backed by the U.S. Department of Education. Another thing that helped me was my checking my credit. Man, I had an Experian account, man, and dude, I had a student loan account. For some reason, I don't know, I just missed it early on. The first year I started paying it back, and you wouldn't believe who I owed the money to. It was to my alma mater. And so I noticed that they were hitting me with, oh, well, you're 30 days late. You're 60 days late. And I'm like, oh, wait, what's going on? I'm paying back all my debt. And so I realized I missed that one. And so you can't be perfect. So I have not been perfect in all this, but I'm grateful with my alma mater. I paid, that was the first one that I tackled. So I owed them like $8,000. And I was like, dang it, it hit my credit. But that's been over it's been 8 years now. So it doesn't impact me as much anymore. Student loans can be a drag on your credit, but as you pay those bad boys down, it has really made my credit score skyrocket. So it sucks when with my bank account isn't set up like the way I want it to. I can't go make it rain, to
Yeah.
take my kids shopping whenever I want to, but I soon will be able to. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But NSLDS and check your credit. I used Experian, but you can also, I'm shouting out all these people. Man, they're gonna have to give us some money, man.
Yeah, they need to sponsor us, right?
Yeah, they need to sponsor us, man.
Credit Karma is good.
The other one, if you don't want to pay for the Experian, use Credit Karma.
Credit Karma. Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you another question. So what are the tools that you've used, people people use the apps or spreadsheets, Excel, all of that
Mhm.
to track their stuff. Like, what are the important tools that you use personally to help you tackle your debt?
Oh man, Excel, and I actually use a website that's like a mortgage calculator where it sets it up as if it's a amortization schedule for mortgages, but I use it for my student loans, right? And so you have people out there that have mortgages and they pay they pay that balance every 2 weeks, twice a month, to make sure that the interest doesn't accrue as quickly. And so that's what I use with my student loans. And so every month or so, I would due to paying my debt every 2 weeks early on, I'd say I would save like as much as $80 off my interest. $80
Wow.
would go straight to principal as opposed to more in interest. After the 3 years of being in the income-based repayment program, and the federal government was not paying the interest anymore. So income-based repayment, man, that saved me. That income-driven repayment program. Go to studentloans.gov, set up an account, enroll in one of those income-driven repayment programs. Especially even if you're making good money, but you're doing something related to the public service field, like if you're a nurse, if you're a medical doctor, if you're a lawyer, public service, they have
Public service.
the public service loan forgiveness. Yes, look into that.
Awesome,
Mm-hmm.
awesome. So Tasha's saying, first of all, welcome to Casey. Thank you for joining the live stream. We appreciate it. So Tasha's saying, I want to get into the 800 club. And Mario said, I'll make it rain and then pick it up real quick. Okay. Okay, that's funny.
Hey,
That's
let me
funny,
hold a
Mario.
dollar, man.
Let me hold a dollar. That's from the movie, not from the series. Everybody hates Chris. There's this
Yeah.
guy that's always on the street asking, "Let me hold a dollar." Let me hold a dollar. Yeah. Speaking of relaxation, what kind of shows that you watch? To relax yourself. Things like that when you're stressed out.
Oh man, I know right now, since he messed up. Oh, this dude messed up real bad, and he's in jail right now. I bet y'all can guess who I'm talking about. I've been binging on some Bill Cosby, The Cosby Show. Hey, I like The Cosby Show, man. I come home from work and I'll watch me an episode or two. They're short, they're quick, they're funny. So I would do that
Awesome,
if I'm
awesome,
not playing ball, jogging, or playing some videos, so playing some PS4. Yeah.
awesome, awesome, man. So okay, okay. So let me ask you another question. So I know that you have your YouTube channel. So what is like your ultimate goal for that? Do you want to inspire people to start paying off their debt?
Man.
What are you gonna do after you pay off your debt? What's like your projection date too? I know you're getting close to it, even though it's
Yeah.
like $15,000. But like, are you gonna be able to pay off like next year or in the next few months? Like, how is like your date? Your projected date to paying off your debt.
I would like to have it paid off by May or June of next year. And the reason why I said May or June, because there are other factors that go into it, like income tax returns. So instead of using that money or saving it, I just throw whatever I get in return to that debt. I do not like receiving too large of a refund, but it's better than owing the IRS. There's three people I don't want to mess with: the IRS. I don't want to mess with those three letters.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
so that has been very helpful. Just living bare bones. I could afford a house now. Um, I'm grateful that my income is where it needs to be to secure a mortgage loan. But for me, just me personally, I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and put the nail in the coffin to my student loan debt. And I don't want to have a mortgage and that's taken away from how much I can put towards my debt. That's taken away to how much I can afford in schools for my kids.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So how about for your YouTube channel? After you paid off your debt, what's like your plan? Are you gonna keep
Uh,
inspiring people, budgeting? Like, what's your target for your YouTube channel too?
that's the plan, you know. The whole purpose of the YouTube channel is based off the scripture Romans 13:8, to allow no debt to remain outstanding, but the continuing debt to love one another. Um,
Amen.
yeah, man. And the biggest thing that I'm trying to get at with people is that it's not about competition or living up with the Joneses. You want to be able to, as long as you're able to afford to pay your bills and you're surviving, you're in good health, you have your strength, you're waking up, and you're not waking up in a facility, you know, where people have to clothe you. You're doing well. And in the US, if you're making anywhere $10 to $15 an hour, you're already in the top 5% of the world with how much we have here. And going to some of the poorest countries and some of my travels, I realized, man, I may be poor, but man, I got it made in this country. Where else? You got other countries, but you have a huge number of people around the world that live in poverty, man. Like, we don't know what poverty is in this country. We have no idea. What really impacted me was when I travel, and I don't want to say the country because I don't want it to sound like I'm putting that country down or anything. No, nothing like that. But seeing kids come out and come out of dumpsters, eating trash in dumpsters, man, and not have and some of these countries not having the waste management facilities, so they'll put their trash in these big dumpsters or these big trash piles and take lighter fluid and just torch it, you know. And so you're inhaling all this. You got kids right by the trash firebomb, looking through the trash, seeing what they can find to eat. And I don't see that here in the US. There are poor people in the US, but man, our poor people are not, they don't even know real poverty. And that just goes to how fortunate we are. So I don't want to object poverty or someone's struggle by no means, because what someone goes through, it can have a different impact on them mentally. So I'm careful about minimizing someone else's struggle. But for me, I'm just grateful, and just with the YouTube channel, I want it to be funny. I want people to laugh at what they see, you know, because a lot of times um, you'll see news stories and you'll see people like upset, they're hurt. A lot of times they could be crying, oh, I can't pay off my debt. I never imagined paying it off. But I want to be a representation of like, hey, you can pay this off with a little bit of hard work. And just being honest and saying, hey, I need help. Being able to be open and honest with people, not in being competitive. It's not being competitive and trying to show that, hey, I'm better than you. Hey, I got more money than you. I got a better house than you. I got better clothes than you. It's not about that. You know, sure, you're going to have some jerks out there that's going to make you feel this small because they have a bigger investment portfolio than you. But it's not really about that. As long as you are happy and okay with what you got, that's all that matters. If you can wake up in the mirror, if you can wake up in the morning every day and look in the mirror and say, you know what, man, I went hard today at what I did my very best, then who cares what someone else thinks? It's just about what you and your family believe about you, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Awesome. That was awesome, man. Thanks a lot for sharing that. So we have 13, 14 people watching. So make sure to give the the live stream a thumbs up. And also, if you don't have Drew's channel, No Debt Beloved, you can go and check it out. I'm going to drop his link. And also, Jamie Macca, thank you for joining the live stream. I appreciate it. He's asking you, No Debt Beloved, do you also invest in the markets? So he's asking you that.
Yeah, right now, primarily I'm in mutual funds. So I would dibble and dabble with some individual stock. But at the moment, it's mainly mutual funds. And right now, it's mainly a balanced mutual fund. So it's a 60-70, well, 60 stock. Then it has some 30 bonds, 30% bonds, and 10 some cash. So I want to still be able to see some dividends. So I want to see some kind of growth, even though right now it's been in like really a defensive type strategy that I'm taking now. Because although I've seen growth or whatever, but I'm also keeping my ear to current events of what's going on. You know, you got the markets going crazy. And so I don't want to stress out every day like, oh, the sky's falling. Oh my goodness, take my money out. No, I have my plan. I have my investments on just automatically send them every month, and I'm good, man. I don't pay attention to the markets every day. The media is bipolar, man.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Especially like there's a lot of like there's like a yield curve stuff. Like everybody started
Oh yeah.
posting videos about, including Jose. No, I'm just joking, man.
Hey, I'm just explaining what the yield curve is. You know,
Okay.
if you tune in tomorrow, you'll see that I bought more for, and I bought
Yeah.
more Wells Fargo, and I bought more and more. I'm just explaining to people what the yield curve is.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't steal your thunder. I just keep it. Just be quiet, Drew.
Oh my god, that was funny. But anyway,
Yeah,
dude, but yeah, the market is like very bipolar, as you said, especially with a lot of trade war going on. If you have a
Yup.
portfolio, it's really kind of stressful to look at it, especially the people that manage it they have it on their cell phone, and you just keep checking it out every single time because it really just goes up and down. And Kevin is saying already sub to No Debt Below. Awesome, Kevin, appreciate it.
Yeah,
Shane's
man.
saying I like watching the stock world burn. Okay, come on, man. Come on, Shane. Jose, I was going to ask if you bought more Ford at this price. So he's asking you, Jose, did you buy it? Of course, man.
Part
Of
of my
course,
mutual
Jose.
fund.
Yeah, I got like 75 shares of Ford today, man. So
Oh,
tune in
nice.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Awesome. So Brian is saying the media scare me, but not so much anymore. Yes,
Mhm.
definitely. Especially, once when things happen, and every media started covering it out, and then you're getting all these feeds from different news sources talking about the same thing and all of that. So, and Kevin is saying some people just want to watch the world burn. No, man.
Hard night.
We're positive. We're positive here, but
That reminds me of
I
Heath
wanted to ask.
Ledger's Joker.
Mhm.
With that quote. Some people want to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! The Dark
Yeah,
Knight, from
man.
the Dark Knight, or from the? No, that's what's up. That's
He was
what's
the
up.
best Joker, man. Oh man. Heath Ledger.
Oh, now Heath Ledger. Yeah, Heath Ledger is awesome. I wanted to ask you a question about. I know you quote Romans 8:13 or 13:8 about
Yep. 13-8.
no debt. Yeah, 13:8 about no debt beloved. And so I want to ask you. I know you use the principles like from the Bible to really tackle your debt. And I know Dave Ramsey is also about using the biblical
Yeah.
principles to tackle his debt. So how do you use those things, to help you, to motivate you, to inspire you to keep,
Hmm.
to keep pursuing your journey as you pay off your debt?
Man. Honestly, there's a passage of scripture where it says that no man starts to build a tower without counting the cost. And so I equate that to how I started college. I started with the idea, hey, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get these degrees. But I did not consider the cost of how much it was going to be for me, that bill. The cost of tuition, the fees, the room and board, food, transportation, all of that. I didn't consider all that. I just thought that, hey, I'm just going to go off to school and, everything's going to be provided for. The Lord did provide, but at the same time, there's a thing that you want to be conscious of the decisions that you're making. Just like you everything that we do has consequences. And I'm glad that I went to college. Had I not gone to college, where would I have been? I have the opportunity to pay my debt or not to pay my debt. That's the question. If I choose not to pay my debt, I could sit there and watch that interest accrue. And then compound interest will be then working against me. So I choose to pay off that debt, and I'm counting the cost that, hey, right now I'm not able to invest as much. But if I allow that interest to compound, if it went from 85,000 to 120,000 to 130,000, you know how much interest I would have had tacked onto my account every day? Every day. So I use that principle of counting the cost every day. When I'm tired, when I'm frustrated, and I tell myself, I don't want these student loan companies to have not another red cent. I don't like paying off debt. Life is more than just paying off debt and struggling. I want to thrive, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But also within reason. You know, I don't want to thrive just to thrive and just me and my family, us four and no one else. I want to be able to thrive so I can reach back and help other people. If I see somebody struggling, well, I honestly, my dream is to be able to go. So I work in higher ed. I'm on college campuses all the time, and I can't wait to get to the point where I can go on a college campus, see a kid looking like they're hungry, or they're in the bookstore and they're stressing out, wondering how they're going to pay for their textbooks. And I slide my debit card right there. I got you, bro. Oh, I got you, young lady. That's what I want to do. That's my heart. I want to. That's how I want to be able to get back.
Awesome.
That's the main thing, for counting the cost so much, so well that I've counted my own personal costs. If I see somebody in need, I want to be able to make it rain on them and say, hey, don't thank me, thank the Lord. It wasn't me that provided, it's the Lord that put me into position to be able to give to you. So it's not me, it's the Lord. That's what gets me fired up, man.
Awesome. That's awesome. You can create content with that too, because you can have like somebody recording that. You know, you can go to college around the state, and then you can just go into the bookstore and start paying off people, like, you know, all of that. That's a great content for a YouTube channel too in the future once you pay it off. You know, but that's awesome, man. Well, we have Van saying, like, Van, thank you for joining the live stream. We appreciate that. My coworker asked about investing, and I told her when the market dipped, it generally is a good time, not a bad time to invest. True or true-ish? What do you think about that, Jose?
Man, some of the biggest fortunes have been made during recessions.
Yeah,
you gotta
definitely.
be able to sit tight at least 20 to 30 years. Everybody is talking about, oh, time the market. Man, when I tried to time the market, I lost big, man. I even thought about, and some people are great at it. For me, I'm not good at that. I don't mess around with options. And I marvel at people who are able to do that. You know, what I do, I look into solid companies that's been around, some of the stuff that I use all the time. I like to eat. So cornmeal, stuff like that, things that pay dividends. Craft. I like Berkshire Hathaway. That's like that big company itself is like a mutual fund, you know. They're B shares. I can't afford those A's, man. Them things expensive.
Yeah.
I don't have paper like that. But yeah, I used to run away when it was a recession. Like, since my family was hit so hard, man. By that, losing houses and cars and losing jobs. But now I see that people who had money saved and they actually invested during that time, they're doing a lot. They're doing even better. And Warren Buffett, when the economy went down, he saw all the blood in the streets. He went into the streets. So, oh, y'all want to run away? Okay, well, let me get my shovel and throw some cash in there and buy some stuff. So right now, I'm just doing a Birdman hand rub, like, all right, keep going down, market, because I'm going to keep putting my money in, all money in.
Awesome, awesome. That's what's up. So Van is also saying, okay, Shane is saying, Drew, what campus do you work as if I want to transfer? That's a compliment, man. Look at that. I know Drew is also adjunct professor. Do you teach, right? Also, you
Yeah,
teach it.
yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So
But
Van is,
but at the moment, I took a break because my son, he's about to be 1, so he's gonna turn 1 year old soon. And so having a 3-year-old and a 1 year old, man, they're a ball of energy. They want my attention. So I was like, I wouldn't be able to devote as much time as I want to for my students. So taking a little short sabbatical. When my son gets 2 or 3, then I'm gonna jump back in there.
What's your master's on?
It's in communication. My bachelor's is in business management.
So you're teaching with your master's on campus?
Yes. So I teach on campus, I teach online, I also teach hybrid, just a mixture of on campus and online classes.
very cool.
I have university experience teaching at my alma mater, and I have 5 years teaching experience at the collegiate level outside my alma mater.
I asked because December I get my master's in business management and marketing.
Ah,
And
nice.
I was, if I need a job, maybe I'll go look into some of the campuses around town. Stuff like that.
Yes, man. It's good. It's really good. Mm-hmm.
Awesome, awesome. So Van Ellis saying also good principle for kiddos, invest in your future, but also follow through with your promises, your word, read promissory notes matters. Yeah, definitely, especially when you're signing your student loans and things like that. So
Yep.
J Mac is saying, no debt beloved, you got bars, man. You got you're gonna drop some bars. That's great. I like
I'm glad he caught that. All my new reference, man.
all money in, all money out. So I like to eat. Same here. 2008 is what made me what to be an entrepreneur. Come on, man. 2008, you weren't even born, Mario. What are you talking about? Oh, man. You're still in the womb, man. 2008. I was thinking about teaching online classes. Cool, cool. Van says, congrats. Good
Do that,
take,
Tasha.
Tasha.
Do it.
Yeah, definitely. If you have the opportunity to do it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to ask you a specific question about what people actually inspire you, that you look up to. I know, like Mario saying, I love Grant Cardone and all of that. What are the people that inspired you, especially when you're trying to pay off your debt? You watch them like for inspiration,
Yeah.
for all that. What people do you
Yeah.
follow? Yeah.
I like Dave Ramsey. I like Marco, Whiteboard Investing. I like Marco. I like the community that's here. The Mr. Rico Suaves, you know what I'm saying? The MSG.
Shout out to Jose
Yeah,
Mario.
I listen to y'all stuff. I'll be at work and responding to students and have my earbuds in. I'm listening to what y'all doing. So y'all are doing a lot of good things. In terms of paying off the debt and just motivation, I like a guy called Les Brown. I like Les Brown. Check him out if you haven't heard of him. And I also like E.T. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. So he has a saying, "Thank God it's Monday."
Yeah,
So a lot of
I like it.
yeah, so a lot of times on Monday, we drive to work like, oh man, I gotta go in. But man, I listen to that guy on my way to work, man. I'm pumped. I'm making work, man. Regardless, make it work.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Yeah, those are some great channels. Shane is saying, I love Les Brown. Yeah, Les Brown is also really awesome. Yeah, especially like in the past, he has this huge stadium where he actually, did motivational speaking. I watched some of the content on YouTube. It's really amazing. And Mario, I like Mario Perez motivational Mondays. Yeah, Mario. Man. Shout out to Mario.
With that being said,
Yeah. With that being said, that Mario also does motivational, Mondays on his channel too. That's really awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, those are some great channels that you can go and check it out.
He dropped
Gary
a
Vee.
Monday video. I responded on Thursday for that change. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he had
So
a video about change. Yeah.
Van is saying, by the way, Daniel, thanks for doing it. It's really great to hear you young guys talk about investing, help all the millennials. Yes, awesome. I appreciate Van. I'm glad that you joined the live stream. I really appreciate it. I think it's your first time here, and we appreciate that you join, you participate in the live stream. So, but yeah, but let me ask you a question. I know you said that you're not into the fire movement in the past. You don't want to retire and things like that. What is like your next step of like your investment? Once you pay off your debt, are you
Mhm.
going to expand into starting like a dividend in the stock market, or are you going to invest in this and real estate? Do you have any kind of plans? Because I know you're super smart now, because you were managing your money super well to pay off this debt. Now you're going to be extra smart, extra careful to manage your money. So how are you going to spend it? To
Oh man,
invest it in the
I was
future.
being cheap, being frugal.
Right. But that's the way.
Uh, I think it's really. I think a lot of times people think in order to be able to invest and make a return or to even pay off debt, you have to be smart. But it's all about behavior. It's all about. I think, I was talking to my wife a couple of days ago. I said, with this student loans, it's not about having a change in your financial status. It's more about a change in your heart. Just how you view money. Because before, I didn't have the healthiest relationship when it came to money. I was all about, oh, I gotta keep it, I gotta keep it. And what I find that even though I'm in debt now, the more I give to other people within reason, I set aside money to be able to help where I can. And I find that my needs are constantly being met, and I have people randomly giving me stuff, giving me gifts, stuff that I needed. When there was a need, like, oh man, how am I going to afford this for my kid? And somebody just comes by and just drop a truckload of clothes and toys. I'm like, man, I don't have to buy anything for the next 2 years. Just give it.
Wow.
So for me, instead of like holding on so tight to money, being stingy, if you're so tight and cringy with money, your hands are gonna be closed, and you got to be able to be willing to give and open those hands to be able to receive too. So it's not always about money, 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 invest. Don't get me wrong, I'm investing. I'm
Yeah.
not a fool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, you get a car, everybody gets a car
Like
once.
Oprah, right? Yeah.
No, I'm not. I don't have Oprah money, man. She got a huge heart. That'd be cool to get on her level. Shout out to Oprah.
Yeah.
But I see myself doing even more investing. I want to do even more beyond my retirement accounts. I want to be able to throw more money into my Roth retirement accounts. And so I have credit cards. I don't have any credit card debt. Ooh, I'm thankful for that. I've been able to manage it and pay it off every month in full. And what I use my credit cards for would be for my utilities. I need my utilities. Um, I need car insurance. I need renter's insurance. Um, I need groceries. I gotta eat. And so I use that cash back and I throw it into my extra retirement accounts, my individual retirement accounts. And then just seeing that, just investing straight in dividend stocks, with the exception of Take Two Interactive, and seeing those amounts grow and getting that dividend and then reinvesting that stuff, it's a wonderful thing. I'm looking forward to being able to max out on my retirement accounts. So and instead of doing the minimum, just max out on those things.
Awesome, awesome. Also, if you want to start like your M1, if you want to manage your Roth IRA, make sure to use Jose's
Um,
link. Jose's link, go to his channel. He got M1 Finance.
You know,
yeah.
I gave up on it, man. I was looking at my analytics today on TubeBuddy. It said about 80 people click on my TubeBuddy link. Guess how many actually purchased?
What? One? Oh, zero? Oh.
I gave up, man. Don't
They
sign
got
up
an
with
also
Don't sign up with Mine One Finance. I have like 800 subscribers. How many use my link? Like Bruce, I'm trying to be like Bruce Wayne, man. Nobody helping me out. Zero.
Come on.
Man, you're
Man.
growing like a weed though, man. You're
Yeah,
growing
that's
like a weed. And so the more people, the more subscribers, man, the probability of more people actually purchasing off M1 is going to increase for you. I'm rooting for you.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, so let's say you saying Mario say millennials are old now, but you're a millennial, right? That's what's up. Drew's a millennial, man.
Yeah, I'm
What's
getting
up?
old, man.
No, you're a millennial, man. You're not getting old, man.
Man, get my
Millennials.
cane and walker. Stop trying to gas me, man. I'm old, man. I'll be
Come on.
34 soon.
Okay. So speaking of like, your Roth IRA, so do you see yourself like retiring like in another country? Do you want to retire in the US, or do you also the Our Debt Journey people, they have an awesome YouTube channel, they're retiring in Portugal. So what's your plan in the future if you make it? Like, do you want to live in the US or abroad?
I see myself retiring outside of the US. And I have family from Trinidad. And so that's why I can see myself being, because they're cool, they're relaxed. And hopefully as years pass, and hopefully they seeing more of a chill, relaxed Drew come out, because early on in the marriage, I was so uptight. Don't ask me for nothing. I'm in debt. I can't help you, robotic. But now they seeing a different side of me. And so I hope that I can go there, we can chill, we can hang out, eat some mangoes, some roti.
Awesome.
Bacon shot.
Okay.
So yeah, man, I could see myself living in Trinidad for a good portion of my retirement, but also traveling. I like to travel, and that's one thing I want to be able to, as they say, man, bring the travel channel to life for my kids. So when it's the summertime, as my investments grow, I want to be able to just do stuff off dividends, man. That's what I want to do, instead of using my main money for everything. Use my play money.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. So, Ben is saying, Ben is saying everything starts somewhere. Jose zero today, zero tomorrow. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Shane is saying YouTube will pay you before M1 does. Come on, Shane. He's saying that. Yeah, you know what? Either way, you get paid. Tasha's saying, I know I'm trying to be like Rico, Suave, invest there. Look at Jose, man, inspiring people without even doing nothing. Just like look at, man. That's super awesome, man. He's out here just like just his presence is inspiring people, that's what I'm talking about. Van is saying, Mario, that sounds like an accident waiting to happen. You say, when I retire, I'm playing golf. That's what I want to say. Out of Coastal Golf. You gotta be focused golfer. Okay. I know you play basketball, but yeah, once you retire, you're probably, gonna play more basketball, I think. But Jose, I wanted to ask you, have you been to have you been to Trinidad and Tobago? Is that the name of the country, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's a like a twin island. So one island's Trinidad, the other one is Tobago, and they basically they combine them together. Trinidad, Tobago. Yeah.
Have you been there, Jose? Or have you?
I have not. I know what it's at, but
Yeah, it's
never been.
It's in South America, right? Or isn't like in the Central
Yeah.
America? Which part of it?
Caribbean, 150 miles north of Venezuela.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mario's saying, Van is saying you gotta be focused, golfer. Been doing this sixth grade till it takes at least 3 of them to get me distracted. One day gets you focused. Big X, I want to go there. Yeah, Tasha, man. Tasha is a traveler. She's gonna be she travels a lot.
Yeah.
And
I'm
where
jealous.
can I get it? Daniel, yeah, but let me ask you a question. So I know you've done a lot of traveling. You've been to Africa, Madagascar. You've been to Europe. You've been to, in Canada. Like, you've been everywhere. What's like the favorite place that you visited that you really like?
Man, the most beautiful place that I know I got to go back, Mauritius. Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
That's in
Yeah,
Africa, right?
yeah, just the waters, man. And I want to go to Saint Marie, the see the whales. Got a lot of National Geographers that they go out there and they take photography and videos of that. So that's a place I want to go. Um, yeah, that's one that's like a bucket list thing right there.
Awesome, awesome.
Gotta go.
I want to ask Jose, what's like the favorite place? I know you've been to Germany. What's like the favorite place that you visited, Jose, that you like?
The
That
most, the most beautiful place I visited
mm,
was the Amalfi Coast in Italy.
oh,
mm,
nice.
man.
Google it.
Okay.
Oh, nice, nice. So, Mario saying that Daniel, where can I get a blue thing? Okay, so that's a wrench. It's called a wrench. And I'll let you know, man. Like a wrench, it comes with a lot of responsibility, man. You have to, you're gonna be able to know. It comes with a lot of
Oh, he
responsibility.
wants a
Uh,
wrench.
yeah, he wanted a wrench. Mario wants a wrench. Van is saying almost at South Africa, South America, bottom of the Caribbean, one of the best carnival celebrations in the world. Nice, nice. Yeah, I want to go there, man. Have you been to Brazil and stuff, man? I want to go there one day. I really want to go there. So,
Mario, he's reminding me of a kid, man. He sees a toy, he wants to play with that blue wrench.
yeah, but the blue wrench doesn't do anything for you, Mario. It just makes you be able to time out people, or if people, that's it. And then drop links if you want to drop links, if you want to help people grow. For example, if you want to, I'm going to drop a link for, remind me of that, of Drew's channel right now.
Hmm.
I'm going to drop a link for Drew's channel. Yeah, like that. So that's the only thing that you're able to do. Is there anywhere near Lake, Lake Como? Jose is asking you that. The Italy thing, I guess.
I'm not sure. I don't know where Lake Como is at.
Hmm.
I know it's near Ravello, Italy. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, let me ask you another question. Drew, so what is like your best advice, for people that want to actually go to college? Do you think that it was
Hmm.
worth it based on your experience that you had taking all this loans, taking out this? Do you think that is worth the education that you got? What did it pay off at the end? What do you think about that? I know it's different from different people. Just share with us from your experience.
Man. I think the break even it took longer than I would have liked. I still haven't broken even yet. And I think overall there needs to be a reframing of the mindset when it comes to education. There's nothing wrong with getting education. It's just all about knowing exactly what you're going to do and what you're going to study. Because a lot of times, even myself, I didn't go into the university knowing exactly what I wanted to do. Um, I just went and I did it. I liked just the mental exercise of it. It was a really good challenge. I love that. I love learning. I try to learn as much as I can still. But in today's age, you have so many ways you can go about obtaining knowledge. You have YouTube. You have websites like Khan Academy where you can learn calculus and coding. You have other coding websites, Code Academy. You don't have to necessarily always get educated in the classroom. Although I love higher ed, there are professions where you need an education. Like if you're going to medicine, oh yeah, you cannot become a doctor watching YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You'll mess somebody up. Sometimes you gotta touch that patient, man. you know, cor-
Yeah.
correspondence don't always work unless you're in prison. And people keep lying on those income-based repayment program applications. You'll go to jail. You cannot
Yeah.
pass go. You cannot collect $200. Stop playing with the government.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm a big supporter of education. It's a great thing to have. It's a tool. I think that had I not had an education, I wouldn't have had the opportunities I've had, just the chances, just the jobs and the people that I've met. But could I have gone about it a different way? Oh yeah, sure. Could I have educated myself more before I went off to college? So I have some family members. They actually took a year break before they went off to college, and I see how that has helped them. My wife being one of them, she was still on the fence about what she wanted to study. Um, she took a year break to work, and then she went to school. And seeing that example from her, that kind of like blew my mind because she she did not have a green card until probably like 6 months after we started dating. And I'm not gonna lie, in the back of my mind, I was like, she just, you have that thought, oh, well, what would happen after she gets her green card after I marry her? But she got that when we were dating. And I just wanted to do a little bit self disclosure because overall you have your debt, but it permeates so much of your private life, in ways you wouldn't have imagined. Because had I not had my debt, I probably wouldn't have even thought that much. Oh well, why would she want to be with me? I got all this debt, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find a job after school, and how am I going to provide? Is she trying to use me? That sort of thing, So initially, with education, if students are just able to go about it with the mindset that, hey, they're pursuing a degree to help as many other people as possible besides themselves, to making a lot of big money and making it rain. I think that you wouldn't have so many kids even today enrolling in colleges and universities getting knocked upside the head with student loans, because the assumption is that degree, that piece of paper, that sheepskin, is going to automatically afford them to get them a job. And it's not the degree that gets you the job. It's your experiences and your ability to speak and to shake hands and to look people in the eye and to explain to them what makes you a good fit for a job, not the degree.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So,
So I wanted to ask you a question. So did your wife knew before you were dating? Did you talk about finances while you're just like boyfriend and girlfriend before you started getting married, or how did that? How did you tackle that?
you know, honestly, surprisingly, I'm glad that we're both frugal people. You know, for me, my mindset was there's no cost that I was not willing to pay for an education. Education was up here for me. I was willing to do everything that I could for education. Everything else, I counted the cost. I was like, well, I'm not going to buy those shoes. It's too expensive. Or I'm not going to live here. I can't afford that. But when it came to education, I was like, hey, man, sign me up. Um, but for her, she considered the cost, the education, everything she does. So in a way, although I was frugal, and my mom to this day calls me a tightwad, she calls me a penny pincher. I've had friends call me a penny pincher when they were just frustrated with me when we went on trips. And I was like, no, man, I'm not spending $400 to see some dolphins. I just watch you. I don't want to go. uh, but yeah, I would say, typically you will have, so together we're frugal, and I would say she's taught me a lot, and we feed off each other. She teach me about the frugal lifestyle, and due to my um my investing experience and just being able to be patient and just save and things like that, that's a part of the puzzle that she has now.
Cool, cool, awesome. So we have some great comments.
But
Tasha's
no, we
saying,
didn't really talk about
"Oh,
finance early on. No,
okay, so
it,
you guys didn't
it,
talk
it,
about it.
yeah, it just so happened that we're both frugal. We don't
All
like
right,
to spend money.
all right, cool, cool, cool. All right, but
Yeah,
it still worked out, man. It still worked out that
yeah, yeah. It's what.
she, yeah. After you got married, you started talking about it, and eventually, that everything went into a place that was super awesome. But but Tasha's saying, yes, I waited a year. She took a break. I think Shane is saying taking a break from school is general. general after high school really puts life into perspective for you.
Mm,
It did wonders for me, and I learned so much more about life and money specifically.
that's what's up.
Especially, that's awesome. That's awesome, Shane. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I became an investor and a YouTuber. Like, what? That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Shane, man. Shane is like an
Yeah.
awesome guy, man. I really like his, his personality. He's like very well
Mm,
behaved. He has very, respectable manners, and I really like him a lot. I remember I had a friend in high school and also in college. I met specific quality of Shane's. I remember their name too specifically because they're very well behaved and very well
mm,
mannered. So shout out to Shane, man. Keep it up, man.
yeah.
But it's such a sound like sounds like my mom. Me? No, I'm just joking. She's talking about Drew. Okay. The things that they don't teach in school are essentials in life, relationship, and finance. Look at that, Jose, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they don't teach you.
Yep.
But so I know you have siblings. How many siblings do you have,
Man, I'm
Drew?
one of 8. I'm one of 8, man. One of 8. So yeah, yeah. So 4 brothers, 3 sisters.
Wow. So,
Hmm.
are they younger? Do you give them advice about how to go to school, how to approach your student loans if they want to talk about that? Like, how
Oh
do you?
man,
Yeah.
I would say I've been blessed to have a big family, and I was I was I was the first of my siblings to graduate from college, and my sister, my oldest sibling, my big sister, she got her master's in counseling, so she's a professional counselor. My stepfather, who just recently passed, he would have actually gotten his bachelor's degree in computer science this past May. So he was really, really that close to having that degree. And my little sister, the baby of the family, shout out to you. Um, she's actually about to she finished at the community college. She's getting ready to go to the 4 year, and so she listened to she noticed the struggle that I went through, and she listened to what I had to say, and she's taking a good route. So I'm proud of her. Hmm.
Awesome, awesome. So, are you personally involved with them, like giving them advice, like, "Hey, don't do this, don't do that," like when it comes to college picking and things like that? Are you involved with them a lot with your
Man,
siblings?
if they ask, but she has a really good head on the shoulders, and she's able to sit back and look and observe. Um,
Yeah.
she'll ask me questions, but beyond that, it's about other things about life.
Yeah.
Not
Cool, cool, cool,
not necessarily about college all the time. Mhm.
cool, cool.
So she's doing a
How
really
about all right? How about for your kids in the future? Are you gonna definitely they're gonna see your channel, of course, when they grow up.
yep,
This is
that was
how
the
our
point.
dad. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, yeah. So they'll definitely be able to learn from you because you have a chronicle your journey about how to pay your student
sir.
loan debt and things like that. But how are you gonna approach? Are you gonna save for them to go to school for college? Are you gonna start your savings for them? Like, how are you gonna approach their education?
Man, I already started, Daniel. I
That's
already
what's up.
already started saving for their education. Yes, sir. Um, So a lot of times people like the 529 plans, but I do not like the instruments that you're limited with a 529 plan. And so what I would rather do right now, I have a high interest rate savings account for now, and every month I just put a set amount, watch that grow, and the interest rates are pretty nice. It kind of reminds me of the pre-recession when you can get a CD, and those interest rates were bomb, man. Those things were nice. But now compared to that, the interest rates you can get the highs of like 2.35. That looks like poo poo, you know, compared to where we were pre-recession. But I like those, and also you can also use your Roth IRA for educational expenses without getting a heavy tax penalty. So just as long as you can submit that paperwork and prove that, hey, this went towards one of your dependents' education, then you're good. I don't want to do the 529 plan because the selection of the financial instruments that you have is so limited. And so I don't fool with 529 plans right now.
Cool. So I like the background that the quote says our family is circle of strength, founded on faith, joined by love, kept by God. Man, shout out to your wife for picking
Man,
that up because I know you made a video about that.
man, I gave her a lot of grief.
Yeah, that's a beautiful quote though. But
Yeah.
Jose though, do you have plans for you? I know you have kids, right? 2 kids. Like
Yes, I have a son.
oh,
Well, I got two sons. One is 20 years old, living in Germany with his mother. He's going through this college right now in Germany where it's free.
Nice.
He's on his first year. And then the second one lives over here. He's 13. He's on 8th grade right now.
nice. So how do you approach like their education, their future education, Jose? Like, do you
Oh,
tell them like go
mine
to
is
school
covered by
or
the GI Bill, so I'm done with that. I might have a few months left to give the little one, and also I'm hoping to leave him all this Hollywood, all this Robin Hood / N1 Finance money. So,
yeah, cool. Awesome, man.
Yeah,
You'll
man.
be yeah, definitely. Because I know like when you especially have kids, their priority changes a lot to thinking from
Yeah.
yourself to thinking for them and for their future, how they're gonna handle their finances when they go to school, what school they're gonna go to, and all of that. So it's it becomes super tricky, to making this decision that you make every single day. It's not just for you, it's also for them too,
yeah,
specifically,
that's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to break that poverty chain, man, because it's in
Yeah.
the culture. You know what I'm saying? Well, all we need is one breakout. That's all you need. It's one member of the family to break out. That's
Yeah.
it. Make
Yeah.
it big. Make it a Hollywood. Make it rich, billionaire, whatever. Just have a foot in, just
Yeah.
so the rest of the gene pool can't, have a step in, have a, foot in the door. That's all we need. Just one. You just need one guy, bro.
Awesome.
Break
And
out.
I
there's a
like
quote. There's a
Yeah.
quote I remember from Mark Cuban. It said, "All you have to be just like be rich is like once. Once you're rich, yeah. Once you get there, you'll be able to make to educate yourself and to make smart decisions to keep the money too. So that's really important." And Drew, for his family, he had 8 siblings, and he was
Yeah.
the first one to go to school, to graduate and to get a college degree. So
Yeah, there's a Rockefeller little babies running around milking their great grandfather that broke oil in the 1700s and
Man,
1800s. So,
yeah, dude. Yeah, man,
can you imagine
that's
just the hardships that Rockefeller had to go through? Like nowadays, we're like, oh, well, we have to have health care. He didn't have health care back then. He was his health care plan. You know,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
that stuff is really like gets me pumped.
mhm.
That's
Yeah,
cool. Like
definitely.
what you're saying, man.
So Van is saying, I'm Tasha. I feel like family is always the last to understand, especially when you're trying to break free from old molds of spending and debt. Yeah, definitely, Van. That's a very great point. So how did your family react? Drew, when you graduate and things like that. That's awesome. But when you tell them that there's like a lot of debt attached to your education, did they react properly? Did they curse you out or I'm just like
Well, my mama, I have to tell on you, I love you, mama. She wasn't happy, man. She was like, "Where's my baby? You went in and went to school and you got married. Now you telling me you got all this debt. You can't see me when I want to see you and all that stuff." I grew up a hardcore mama's boy, and so um, having to getting married and just focusing on my family and focusing on my finances, and then explaining that um, I can't do this, I can't do that, and my siblings, they want to see me. So, but I say the thing that helped me even through that conflict was just being open and honest. And I think now that they see my little blog, my little YouTube channel, they understand more now of just the impact that it had on me. And they see that I just didn't use the debt as an excuse, because they see now for themselves with how forthcoming and honest that, hey, this is what I've been paying, and they can see. So I'm glad that
yeah.
they understand it now. But for the big chunk of my debt repayment journey, they didn't understand.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So Van is saying, you know the saying, a prophet is never welcome in his own country. It's
Mhm.
hard to advise siblings, family. Yes, definitely, I agree. I love that quote too. And Van saying, Tasha saying, you're right. They don't understand the sacrifice. Yeah, I wanted to ask you this question, Drew. So as you're going to this journey of paying off your debt, like how did this, this whole experience like shape you as a person? I know you might develop the character traits of like being more patient or resilient. Like how, like what characters did you develop? Like what made you, what kind of person did it shape you to be like right now? This whole debt journey.
I think it made me develop more grit and saying, it doesn't matter what type of family I come from. It doesn't matter what kind of job I have or the salary that I earn. If there's something that I want to get, I'm not going to allow anyone or anything to outwork me to achieve my goals. It became of not even competing with anybody. So when I go to work, I don't think about, before I look at that, but like, who they think they are? They think they better than me. I'm gonna show you you're not better than me. No, because what if in my mind, what if by me looking at somebody else as that true standard, like, oh, they're the best, and I'm saying that, oh, they're the best, so I need to try to outdo them, but my potential may far surpass them. And what if that the very best that we see people, what if we see people at their very best, that's all they're going to be able to accomplish? You see someone just doing well in their careers, um, and then they die or something, or they're just not as good because your actual potential can just straight up overshadow theirs. And it's like, I think about, if you continue to compete with other people, you're going to constantly chase a ghost, kind of like with LeBron and Michael Jordan. He's steady. He continues to chase the ghost of Michael Jordan. He wants to be seen as the king, the best, the GOAT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I
man.
think that applies to everything you do in life, especially this YouTube community and stuff like that, your YouTube channel or whatever. We were talking about it last time. Forget about the rest. Forget about the Bruce Waynes and the Jake Jones and all that. Your channel.
Yes,
Is
sir.
your video that you put out today better than the one yesterday?
Yes, sir.
And that one better than the one the week before? Is your production quality increasing? You're your own competition. That's all I'm saying.
Yup.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So basically this journey like helped you to just have like narrow focus on yourself and to develop grit. And that's really awesome. That's a great quality to have, going through it. So Van is saying, Jose, you don't look old enough to have kids that age whatsoever. I get that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jose, the secret, Jose, like what's like your workout split? I know you work out a lot to stay.
Yeah, I'm
Ah,
trying to work these guns right
Look,
here.
look at that!
oh,
Look at that!
bang,
Uh, yes, 3 times a week, guys. That's it. 3 times a week, full body workouts. That's it. I'm there for a couple of hours, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and I eat everything that I can get my hands on. I like to eat, so I like to work out, and it's like putting that little 10-pound extra on the bench every week, and that little extra, instead of grabbing the 35-pound dumbbell, I grab the 40 the next week. You see, and try to do a
ah,
little bit, try to do a couple more reps, or whatever. So always trying to like, improve yourself better, increase that
sir.
weight resistance,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
just so you
yeah,
grow. That's how you grow.
yeah,
Change.
definitely. And then look young, man. Jose, like super
Yeah.
fit.
Thanks.
You
Yeah,
look super,
thanks.
super fit, man. But
Yup.
yeah, Tasha's saying you are right, and that is true. Jose, you don't look old enough. Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's a great quality to have. So now, does anybody has any questions for Drew? If they want to ask any questions, it's related to his journey about debt. I know Tasha asked you a question on your channel though, but I forgot what it was. But you're gonna make a video about it though, right, Drew? Yeah.
Man, I've
How
actually
did,
recorded recorded it, and I'm still editing.
Oh, dang. Come
So I'm
on,
like,
man.
man, I'm gonna have to just because I've been trying to like drop a video once a week, and I'm like, man, I got so much editing I still need to do. I may decide to just drop like a student loan update video, and then as
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still editing, then drop that the following week. So I don't
Yeah,
want to get the 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then like, hey, where you at? No debt. Come on, man.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I like what other channels that you watch on YouTube that you like, you know, that specifically in the debt journey path that they
Oh
follow, you
man,
know. You want to give a
um,
shout out to, you know.
A Merry Life on a Budget.
Mm.
She was one of the first ones that I just saw and I gravitated to because she was so personable. She's married. She has a daughter, and she goes in super detail. She gives numbers about her budget, talks about her personal life trips she's going on, how much money she's spending. She has like a cash envelope system. She's hardcore Dave Ramsey.
Mhm.
Another person that I like in the debt-free journey would be Debt-Free with D. Debt-Free with D. Uh, Really cool. She's funny with her memes. I would say she's one of the she influenced me to add little more video clips and memes to my videos. So
Okay.
and never forget my man Q.
Yeah, cute, right?
Yeah. What about Our Rich Journey? Have you seen their channel?
No,
Oh, it's
Oh,
great.
come on, man.
Great.
You
who is
check it
that?
out.
And Christina, Our Rich Journey.
No,
Oh my God, you got to get on that quick. They just achieved fire like last week.
Our Rich Journey.
Our Rich Journey. Yeah.
Okay,
They walk through like they they have many accounts, Vanguard accounts, Robinhood accounts, and One Finance accounts. They walk you through all of them. They for the last 5-10 years they've been living in a place, fixing it, moving to a different place, renting that place, fixing it, moving to a different place. you know, they've been
nice.
traveling all over the world, whatever. They just finally achieved fire like last week, and they move into Portugal to retire or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
One of the bloggers I really like is Financial Samurai. I hope I'm not messing up his name. It's like, and then and also Money Mustache.
Money mustache.
Yeah.
That's
Honey
awesome.
mustache.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. Shane is saying the fire couple. Yeah, I like that they did. J Mac is saying our journey is great.
Our
Yes,
Rich-
definitely. Yeah, yeah. Check them out. Maybe I might drop their link over here. But yeah, they have a lot of videos about how they hack, how they live for free by house hacking, how
Travel for
how they
free.
travel for free,
Okay.
how they invest, how they save, how they do all this stuff. Just like about how to do it. If you, especially the good thing is like they have a family. They have 2 kids. So it's really,
Totally
you can
real,
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So you,
Thank you,
like,
man. I never even heard of these.
Oh, you're gonna be hooked. You're gonna be hooked. You're
Yeah.
gonna be from video to video to video. You're gonna go from video to video to video because they have when they started the Robinhood account, they started with $10,000, and every month they were putting in another 850, and they had like 10 companies, and they were rebalancing those companies, and they were like high dividend yield companies and all that, and there was just no bowling. And I don't know how much they got, 20,000, 30,000, whatever already in that Robinhood. Yeah, so
Woo.
they started like last year. Like,
Yeah. They recently celebrated like their 1-year anniversary on YouTube.
yeah. So it didn't take them long, man. It didn't take them long. Like once they went on YouTube, and then they started,
Man.
Yeah.
sharing. Yeah. So
Van is saying basketball analogies are life, and
All
Jason
is
is
life.
saying J Mac. Mr. Money Mustache is the guy that started the fire movement or popularized it. Yeah, popularized it. Yeah,
Yep.
like I never heard of it. The Money Mustache, the guy with the bow tie, or like.
Oh, okay. So I get to use this face on you. What?
yeah.
Dude, I
The
don't
guy with
know.
the bow tie is Let's Talk Money with what the heck is his name?
Hmm.
It's got bald heads, always wearing a bow tie.
Yeah, the bow tie, yeah. Money mustache, I never heard
Good.
of it.
Yeah, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah. But I also like Q's. You know, Q's channel is super awesome too. Like really, he's
Oh
hustling
yeah.
a lot. You know, he's getting close to paying off his debt. You know, but
You know what
yeah,
I like about Q?
yeah,
Because when we go to college and we're told to get a job, work for someone, and seeing him, he does have some side. He works for. He has a main job, but then he also has side hustles. He has companies that he started, and then he's not too proud to go out walking around and picking up pennies, change off the ground.
There's an echo. Can you lower the volume? I think your phone. You started the phone.
Ah, it may be too
Is it your
close.
phone? Yeah,
Maybe.
your phone. Yeah,
Is it good now?
yeah. Yeah, now it's good. Yeah. Now can you repeat what you said? Yeah, with
Okay,
Q.
my bad.
I
I think I
think.
have my phone
Yeah.
too close to my laptop. I like
Uh,
the thing I like about Q is that because we're told to go to school and get a job. Well,
yeah.
he went to school, got his degree, but he has a main job, but he also has side hustles that he does. And then at the same time, he isn't too proud to go walking around and man collecting change, putting that stuff in a jar, and he's actually using that change he finds to pay off his debt. So I like that. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like for him, he's like, yeah, I do car detail work. And that could have been something I could have done, but it's having that fear of going out there and doing it on your own.
Yeah, definitely
Mhm.
for sure. That fear. Shane is saying, side hustle for days. Such a wholesome guy Q is. Yeah, definitely. Especially like when he's getting all those changes and they accumulate, and then you see it's like 120 something. I was like, what? That's
Yes,
amazing.
sir.
That it adds up like so big. But J Mac is saying, yeah, Mr. Shane. Yeah, I just checked. I just went on YouTube and I saw it, and I saw that channel, Mr. Money Mustache. Cool. He only has 23 videos too. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, yeah, for sure. The fire company,
His
yeah.
blog is good, man. Like his blog.
Oh, the blogs,
Yeah,
the money mustache, or
yeah.
the money samurai.
Well, both of them. Well,
Oh,
with Samurai, he's more of he's always tracking his net worth and things like that. He gives charts of where you should be depending on your age. So it's good to
oh,
see that. Yeah, I like that Sam how he does that.
yeah. I
So
think I've seen one of his videos. He makes the title of like, "This is what you need to be worth by the age of like 30," or "This is what you need to be worth by the age of 25," or right, that kind of stuff, right?
yep, and I noticed Kevin O'Leary. He's the guy from Shark Tank,
Yeah,
right?
Shark Tank. Yeah.
He just recently like dropped an article or so or interview saying that you have to have like 100,000 by the time you turn 33. So I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So you got more and more people hopping on that fire movement, that ideology.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
like him, Jose? Like the Kevin O'Leary guy? I
Yeah,
read his book. It's really interesting.
wonderful. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I like when he talks about crypto. He don't like crypto, man.
yeah. You
He,
like crypto, Rico?
I don't. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't see the point of it. Just it's valuable because people say it is. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like kind of like I understand that money is the same way, but at least
Hmm.
I can feel it. I can touch it in my hands. I can go use it right now at the bank. Crypto, and it's like 15,000, different crypto versions or
Oh
whatever.
man, yeah.
There was even one that they made up about a dog or something like that, and actually
Oh,
sold
Dogecoin? Yeah,
millions of
Dogecoin. That guy.
they sold millions of dollars on crypto or whatever, and it was a fake one. People just
Oh,
they were just trying to jump on the bandwagon, because
Wow.
yeah.
so
Man,
so
that's
It's so
crazy.
crazy how you have these corporations jumping in that too. Walmart and then Facebook with what are they calling? What's Facebook's crypto
Oh,
called?
Libra.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
if they start taking it, like they take dollars, I guess, and it'll be worth something. But right now there's no crypto ATMs, and my boy, what's his name? He's trying to make is it Derek? No, it's not Derek. It's somebody else trying
It's
to make like a
Derek.
crypto ATM. Huh?
Yeah, it's Derek Lester. Yeah, it's Derek Lester. Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to make it. He started a business like a crypto ATM. You go in there, you put your card in there, you get some crypto out, whatever. I don't know. Or you buy crypto, or whatever, in the ATM, and the business fell off or whatever after a year. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, he made a video about it. He actually had an ATM that he bought and he put it in a busy area. He
Hmm.
basically rented a small space within, a busy area, and then, people will pay to cash out their Bitcoin or to buy Bitcoin or to exchange it in a way. But eventually, he didn't get anything. I think for after 1 year, nobody used it or something like that. Yeah.
Oh
Check out
wow.
his video, yeah.
Yeah, very
Derek
cool.
Lester, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting.
Okay.
Tasha is saying he spends 1K a day on food. The I am mustache guy or the other guy. Shane is saying I need to have an 80K net worth by 25 to be part of the 1% for that age. That's a good goal, Shane. Yeah, I think you can accomplish it, man. You're definitely
Yeah.
building it one step at a time, and you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Shane, definitely you'll be able to accomplish it. So, do you have that kind of goals, Drew, that you want to have this kind of net worth by this age, or I want to have this kind of retirement saved up by this age? Do you set
Hmm.
it up like that, or you just live off of
Hmm. I
whatever
would
your
say
net worth is?
I've had some interesting experiences in life where people um, have passed on and may not have had any financial instruments set up or even life insurance for that matter. And so what I find is that, yes, I would like to experience some of the joys that life has to offer and be able to see beautiful places and meet awesome people. But I'm more of passing it along for the next generation, for my children's children. If I can set
Okay.
my kids up to not have to borrow any money, if I can leave something behind for my grandkids, and if I can pass down those same thoughts and ideals to my kids and they teach their kids, then I left a legacy. So sure, would I like to be wealthy? Oh yeah, having money makes things a little bit easier to do. If I get sick, I can afford the best of the best healthcare, see the best doctors. However, money isn't everything. Ask Steve Jobs. He
Yeah.
would gladly be still alive, having his health, as opposed to being a billionaire and just wasting away. But at the same time, Steve Jobs left a powerful legacy, and so that's what I'm tackling. That's what I'm going after. A
Awesome.
legacy. What would they say about Drew after he's gone 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now?
Awesome. That's awesome. That you're more focused on the family oriented. You want your
Yeah,
kids, you want your family, and the generations guys coming up to be able to, to sustain themselves and to remember you as something with your legacy. Also, that's super awesome. So, yeah, he's a billionaire. Kevin is a billionaire. I thought he was a millionaire, but hey, man, but I think he's a billionaire.
I'm calling him a
Yeah.
millionaire, bro. You crazy?
Yeah. No, Kevin O'Leary. He's not a billionaire. I'm not sure, but he sold his company. Oh,
With the B, bro. With the B, he's worth about 6 billion.
oh,
dang. Shout out to Kevin O'Leary. Okay. Yeah, he's frugal. Tasha said, yeah, he said since he travels a lot plus he'll pay for others. Yeah, definitely be paying for others. The one thing that he does is he doesn't own a car. That's what he said. He uses Uber and Lyft a lot when he's traveling a lot. Kevin O'Leary when he goes to New York, LA, so he's traveling a lot.
Did you see Jeremy's video? He put Jeff Bezos driving his Honda Accord down the road.
No, no, really?
ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It was
Wow.
a while back. There was like he still had hair, you know.
Oh, okay.
But it was Jeff Bezos driving down the road in a black Honda Accord.
Man,
Oh, wow. Yeah, dude. That's interesting. Speaking of Buffett, also Warren Buffett drives like some not that fancy car in a way.
his house is not
Yeah,
that.
yeah, even his house too. Definitely, definitely. So do you see yourself in the future being like that? Even if you have a lot of money, you're still gonna be super frugal and be able to, you know, save, money. in that kind of way with cars or your house? You're still gonna be like minimalistic in a way.
I still see myself doing that because it's all about your behavior. And when you have your behavior, your values drive your behavior. And after a while of doing something for a while, that behavior becomes a habit. And then once that behavior becomes a habit, it just reinforces itself within a value. So I'm hoping that I can continue to stay rooted and grounded, because you have people that say, you know what, I'm going to enter into this industry and I'm going to stick with the straight and narrow, and you see them slowly drifting away. But at the same time, I see with money, it's a tool. Money is a tool that if you want too much of it, you will compromise. You will compromise on things that you invest in. You'll say, okay, this company is making a lot of money. You throw as much as you can at that, then find out that they have to get that their CEOs in trouble for insider trading. Yeah. So it's a balance, and I hope that I'm able to keep that balance and not just go after the money. I need money to live, but I don't need money. If that makes sense. It's not my everything.
I want to throw a quick correction in there real quick. Kevin O'Leary is worth about $400 million.
Yeah, that's what I said. Man.
Mark Cuban is the one that's worth $4 billion.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, come on, man. The billion is a lot, man. A billion is a lot.
Man, he can let me hold $1 million.
You went from let me hold $1 to now let me hold $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like what you said, Drew. You said your values drive your behavior. Is that what you said? That's the awesome thing, man. What you value, definitely. So
it's all about the routine and
yes, sir.
Persistent. And you go to the gym, you don't see any changes. 1 week, nothing. 3 weeks, nothing. 2 months, you still look the same. 6 months, somebody looks at you like, whoa, you've been working out, man. I'm like, yeah, a little bit. It's like you can't tell when you're looking at yourself in the mirror every day.
Yep.
It changes to you. It's so minimal, so incremental changes that you don't see it. But other people, it's like, man, where'd you get those arms from, man? It's like, hey, the gym for the last year, whatever. So
yeah, for sure.
And that's the thing when it comes to investing. If you set your things on automatic to send to your portfolio accounts, then you look up, it's 5, it's 10, it's 15 years later down the line, you're like, whoa, look at all this money I have.
Yeah.
I would say I'm not that savvy with money like that to have just these outrageous amounts of returns and things like that to engage in the FIRE movement. Would I like to? Yeah, sure. But I'm also aware of my abilities. So you have to be self-aware. I'm aware of my abilities. I'm aware of where I'm starting off. I'm not starting off as young as some of these people that are doing the FIRE movement or had access to some of the jobs, the salaries, or just the connections. But that doesn't mean I can't try, but I'm not going to kill myself trying to get to that point. If it presents itself, awesome. But the main thing is to be comfortable. And I have that number. Yeah, I have that number.
Nice. That's a great. Our Rich Journey. They talk about they have a specific number that they work for. They have a target. They can once they rich, 25% of that, 50% of that keep them motivated to keep pursuing that, to working hard and things like that. So that's super awesome that you have that specific target. Awesome.
You fail to plan, you're planning to fail.
That's a great quote, man. Yeah, that's a great quote.
Yes,
so Shane is saying, I like shiny things only if I can afford them and I can make the money back in just a few months. Come on, man. The shiny things, bro. Come on.
Man, somebody got to win. Somebody, we need some of them high rollers, man. Somebody got to high rollers. So I'm all for it. Somebody got to do it, man.
I was like ashamed to say, Jose, after one day at the gym, I saw change. The change was that I was at the gym. Come on, man. Man, dude, like, it's really awesome, man. Even if I go to the gym a lot, man, I don't see change, man. I'm still super skinny, man. Always.
You gotta eat, man. You gotta eat. You know those Chris Hemsworth? He was and what's the other guy? The Superman guy from Man of Steel.
Chris,
Oh,
oh, okay.
Cavill?
I was gonna say the original.
Henry something, whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, Henry Cavill, something like that. Uh, those guys are in a 6,000, 7,000 calorie
Calories.
diet a day. I
Woo.
mean, they are because they at the gym twice a day in the morning and the evenings, exercise and getting that big, and you need a lot of calories to gain that muscle. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta eat. You gotta eat.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, it's also setting targets, eating, like, even if I eat, yeah, if I wanted to, I guess I can. I have to eat. I have to set targets, but my main goal is not, to gain weight. But anyway, let's get
Drink some
back to
insurance.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But for 2,000 to 3,500 calories a day, yeah, that's nuts. But if you guys have any questions for Drew, please just drop them in the comment section so that he'll be able to answer. But do you have any? What is like your closing statement, Drew? You want to say something about your channel? Tell us about your message, your inspiration. If you want to preach to us too also about Romans 13:8. You're welcome to, man. We're listening, all ears, bro.
I would say something that's just been on my heart for the last 8 years is that for the students to just go out there and to do your best to really focus on the value that you can bring to the lives of others. And when you are skilled in something, you would not serve in front of common men. If you become skilled in something, you become the best doctor that you can be, you become the best lawyer, you become the best dentist. People will seek you out. So don't chase the money will follow you. And people will seek you out because people recognize greatness. A lot of times, I'm guilty of this. I would overcompensate. Like you see the really small person in the truck, and they're trying to show that they're big and they're bad, or that person that just came across some new money, and they want to show off to the ladies, or just be that aristocrat. But whenever you're yourself, people acknowledge when they seeing that you're being authentic. People know when you're being real, and people can see real talent when they're bearing witness to it. So there's no need to be someone that you're not. Know who you are, and if you don't know who you are, gather yourself, have a close knit circle of friends that are willing to tell you the hard truths about yourself, that know you, that just don't want to stroke your ego. Because a lot of times we want to feel that we're somebody. And with my story, that was the main thing that I wanted. I liked being told that I was smart. I liked being told that I was doing the right thing to be successful. But for me, maybe a lot of times, so you may not be that CEO of that company. You may not be that millionaire or that billionaire, but you may be the catalyst for a change in someone else's life that's going to influence or impact them to become that CEO, to be that next Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, every friend in their life was not a billionaire. Not everybody can be a billionaire. That does not mean not try, because you can have people that can be influenced by your struggle. But at the same time, if we do not, if we go through life and we don't achieve our goals, that does not mean you're a failure. There can be beauty in struggle, and people can actually be encouraged by what you're doing. So whatever we're doing, if it's working, YouTube channel, investing, you're, even if you may not feel like it or think so, you're a leader, you're an influencer. You're influencing someone, either it's to improve their life or for bad. Because you have a lot of people that's in prison, locked up because of something that someone else did that influenced them, that impacted them in such a way to go through the life of crime that they did. So you have more people that's being, and you have everybody's being impacted. So why not impact people in a positive way and show them love? Because when you genuinely love people, it's not just that, oh, you're cool, but you loving someone where you really want the best for them. You're looking out for them. You're telling them the truth. In love, even if it may hurt them, they may think something is right in their eyes. If they're just overspending, that, hey man, you're overspending, dude. Man, you can't afford this. Whatever the case may be, you're not a Debbie Downer. In that you just got to be able to risk it to love people. And when you're attempting to love, people are going to misunderstand what you do. They're going to misconstrue what you say. And in loving people, you don't know if you ever loved unless you've been hurt. So if you've never been hurt in your life, maybe you're putting you're putting your heart in a box and you're trying not to get hurt.
Yeah.
So we don't like being hurt, but it's through our scars that Jeff Bezos was rejected a lot of times. Steve Jobs, he got kicked out from his own company that he started. He was rejected. But then after some years, they're like, man, we need Steve Jobs back. We need him to take the reins of this company because we're missing out on his innovation. And so he was rejected, but then he ended up being accepted. And Steve Jobs refused to compromise on who he was. So don't compromise, because if you start compromising now, you're just gonna become a caricature of yourself.
Awesome. Yeah. Great. That's very sweet. So how about your YouTube channel? Like, can you tell us about people to go check out your YouTube channel, subscribe? That was a beautiful message, by the way. And also Shane is saying, Drew, come speak at my graduation. And that's the truth. Tasha is saying, speaking the truth. That's what I'm talking about. Drew, your picture from in the cookout. Sure, if you noticed it, your picture from it's cooked out. Okay, yeah, but always improve, always involved, never give up. Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, but that's really awesome. Drew, make sure to go check out his channel, and it's also, do you have that what?
Mario.
Yeah, Mario's he's talking trash. Yeah, but anyway.
But yeah, I was to say, man, thank you so much, Daniel, for the opportunity. Thank you, Rico, man. You guys are doing really good work. And for real talk, I was like, man, I don't know how this is going to go, because, man, another thing I just want to leave just a piece of just inspiration, motivation, whoever that's left, because a lot of times, my channel, I'm still trying to learn. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have the best equipment, but I'm gonna show you what my laptop looks like. What do y'all see?
Oh yeah, like the
missing
D.
Yeah, missing the D, man.
Yeah.
And then with my screen, look at all this. My screen is going out, man. And so I do my editing on this thing. This laptop is 6 years old. And it just goes back to saying, just being authentic, be yourself. I'm in my repayment journey, man, and I'm just being real. Like, should I get a new laptop? Yeah, but will that be the best thing for my money right now? Not necessarily. Does my laptop get the job done? Yeah. So what I say all that to say is, use what you got. That's it. Just use what you got. You don't have to be the best en route to being a success.
Yes.
You may very well be en route to being the absolute best in your industry, but if you never step out and try, I was so afraid for my first YouTube channel. If you look at my first YouTube video, if you look at my first video, man, my video was fuzzy, man. You could barely hear me. You heard AC popping and stuff, and just as Jose was saying, it's all about constant improvement. So don't worry about what people would say. Sure, you may get a dislike hit there, you know, here and there. You may get somebody that's going to troll you, but who cares? Who cares about that stuff? It's all about your growth, and if you believe that it's all about your purpose. I'm just No Debt Beloved is here to just encourage people. You may be in debt up to your eyeballs, 120, 200,000, $300,000 plus. But that doesn't mean that having student loans and debt is a death sentence. You don't have to die with that debt. It's not over. You could still live. You can pay it off. Just do your best every day, and you don't know, you know. Yeah, you may be one job application away. You may be one invention or patent away, but you gotta be willing and able to be bold. I like what Les Brown says. You have so that the graveyard is so rich. It's wealthy. You find so many dreams and so many inventions that would have worked, but people are so afraid. And with this YouTube channel and my blog, it represents me breaking out of that fear of saying that nobody's going to care about what I have to say about student loans. People hear about it all the time. Shut your mouth, Drew. But who cares? Yeah, whoever's going to receive what we have to say, you know, that's even if it's just one person. I did my job.
Yeah. Sure, for sure, man. Awesome. That was a great live stream, man. Drew, shout out to Drew. No Debt Beloved. I'm gonna drop your link one more time, man. But Jose, man, like, come on, man, do your plug-in, man. What's the upcoming video that you're gonna drop? And tell us about your channel too, Jose.
Yeah.
Say again.
What's like an upcoming video that you have planned up? And
yes, well, tomorrow Friday. I'll be bringing you my Robinhood N1 Finance portfolio updates. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I made some great moves this week, like crazy moves. I was telling Danny before we went live, I sold pretty much almost all of my position, just left like one share just to hold that position, and I threw it into Ford and Wells Fargo because when I see a good deal, I grab it. So
that's what's up. Yeah, be on the lookout for that, man. But if you guys don't have Drew's channel, go check it out. Also, Jose's channel. I'm gonna drop his link, but I'm sure a lot of people have it. I think.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Drew. It was very inspirational.
Yeah, it was super awesome, man. Keep going at it, man.
For having me. I know my stuff is just primarily just paying off there and just very little investing. But thank y'all for being a listening ear. I appreciate y'all.
Thanks. But the van is saying this was fun, Daniel. I enjoy your interviewing your Oprah to be. Great job. No doubt it's been real. Thank you for your insight and inspiration, Rico, bringing the wisdom. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Van, for joining us. I hope you stay tuned for Sunday. You know, Sunday is going to be special. We might have somebody that has 10,000 subscribers or more. You might be in because we start talking, you know, exchanging some stuff. So we still haven't made a decision yet, or we might have Kevin and his girlfriend on, Alicia. So either Adventures in Us and Kevin. So it might be interesting to see which one is going to be. But I know it's definitely going to be Kevin or Alicia or that investing hustle guy. So I really appreciate you guys. Mario saying you cut losses. Good stuff, Drew. Yeah, awesome, Shane. That's really awesome. Thank you for Tasha. For everybody, it's going to be a great 1K by the weekend. Let's hope.
Mario, I did not cut any losses. What I did was when the profits of the stocks that were going up, I took in profits to buy stocks that were going down, Mario.
Cool. Yeah, so you average up on your position. But yeah, but thanks a lot, everybody. We really appreciate it. Hope to see you back on Sunday
Sir.
for guests. Yeah. So also, if you want to be, if you have somebody that you want to suggest, if you want to have, if you have a YouTube channel, if you want to participate in the live stream, just let me know, and you'll be, you can share your story just like Drew. He took a very bold step. Even though he got out of his comfort zone. To actually share his story with us and go personal and talk about his story. That was really awesome. We learned a lot from his journey in life in general. That's what it's all about, learning and growing together as a community. So thank you for Jose too. He's really awesome. Thank you for his time. And his presence. I really enjoy him. That was a really good vibe. So thank you, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful night, and we'll see you on Sunday night. Sunday night, 8:45. So thank you, guys. Peace.
Good night, guys.
All right, guys. That was really awesome, man. Thank you, Drew.